Just a quick dip.
Cold water?
Well, whatever the lake is.
You're doing a plunge?
Probably not that.
It's about 5 degrees air temperature. The water, though it looks like water,
It's frozen.
is ice. The all those rocks on the ice were from yesterday.
Oh, it's a coffee cup.
I forgot that coffee cup from yesterday. Okay,
Grandma's not going to be happy.
let's do this. I don't think this is a good idea.
Oh, first I'll break the ice with these pins still on. It's going to be very satisfying to break the ice.
Okay, that's very cool.
I could just go right here.
Yeah, that's what you're not going any further. Out of your mind?
I was picturing a little further. Hands up.
Do it. Grrr. Oh yeah.
My towel.
It's a beautiful bathing suit there. The one piece really is. Watch out! Don't slip.
It's also that the ice is very sharp. Oh my god. Oh. Ow. This is much colder than Florida.
I'm waiting for the internet to catch up. Oh, I'm wearing a sweater because it was so damn cold. I still haven't gotten warmed up. Thankfully, the audio's good, but the video frame rate is terrible. Let me see if I can. The internet should catch up.
It's tingling everywhere.
Make sure your heart keeps beating.
Heart's still beating.
Oh. Viva la revolution! There was a reason why I'm letting a long video play. I was looking for a tweet that I know
I
exists.
did a polar plunge.
Okay, yours is good. Maren,
Yeah.
take the camera, please.
You think you're gonna do it?
Let's see what the f- I'm gonna be outdone by my wife. Let's get this party started. Okay. Damn.
I didn't bring you a towel. You're not taking mine.
Well, you got a bathrobe on. The internet's not catching up, people.
Okay. It's really the feet that have been
And just so everybody knows, my kids had colds before I did this. So if I get a cold, it has nothing to do with this.
Okay, well, I'll just
Yeah, that doesn't matter. I'm not ashamed of anything.
not filming that.
Produced 3 wonderful children. That's all I needed from it. Maybe when I stop playing multiple videos, it'll catch up. Happy Boxing Day, people.
You didn't know you're getting a Yeah.
Tommy John Underwear, they still haven't sponsored me. Oh my goodness. Just avoid the looking at the genitalia. It's very cold, the water. I think this counts, right? Like Joe Rogan would be proud of me.
It activates
Gets the brown fat going.
Activates the brown fat, yeah.
Stay in for
Like
3
a
minutes.
Controlled
Probably could have.
activation of your immune system and your brown fats. And,
Oh, yeah?
because then you get out and you're forced to warm up. So it like
Joe Rogan, this is for you. Get the brown fat going. It sucks. You're gonna do it. Is that enough? My toes are
so.
going numb. My fingers are going
I
numb.
didn't know it was a competition. Nobody told me it was a competition.
Everything with your spouse is a competition in the best possible sense. Everybody, now that I stopped playing that video, I'm seeing my 2 radars. Note, now I'm down to 1 radar. I'm going to be sneezing, I think. Little bastard children may have given me their cold. This was to jumpstart my immune system, to jumpstart the brown fat system. Happy Boxing Day, people. Let me go over to... You feel maple syrup? I did this 2 hours ago. I'm still freezing. I didn't take a warm shower afterwards because I think that's cheating. I had hot turkey soup that we cooked from yesterday with some Tabasco sauce and what else? And 3 fried eggs in it and some cheese and a mushy, disgusting carrot. Let me see here. Viva, you're in great shape. Do you work out only every day? No, I jog every day obsessively, almost every day. And I started doing push-ups and curls recently just because, I don't know, I feel lazy if I go for a jog and then don't do some muscular stuff. But I look, I'm not a scientist, no medical advice, no legal advice. I think a lot of the muscle residue is from having been a very athletic teenager. And I don't know, I think there's like muscle memory that if I start doing push-ups, I'll build muscle very quickly. And I look the same as I used to be when I was 13 years old, wrestling beasts at Lower Canada College, wrestling, sports, rugby, football, and the like. Okay, happy Boxing Day, people. Let me make sure the mic is good. I'm still in my mother-in-law's studio. Viva, do you want to be remembered as a father, a lawyer, or a YouTuber? Definitely not a lawyer, definitely not a YouTuber. So definitely a father, as I will be. Just want to be remembered as a good father. Push-ups will put a lot of muscle on. Most underrated exercise. They're easy. The only problem is I got a ganglion cyst in my wrist, and I got carpal tunnel syndrome. So if I do too many push-ups, but if I do too many curls, I wake up every night and my thumb and index fingers are like numb, like non-existent. I rub them, don't even feel them until the sensation comes back. Oh, okay. Now let me just make sure that we're live everywhere. We should be live on. We're live on Rumble. Let's see if the video looks any better now. Ugh. Is that what I look like? The audio. Jack down the audio. All right, so the video sucks, but the audio is decent. Let me see if we're live on Rumble. Not on Rumble, on Rumble. On vivabarneslaw.locals.com. And I am. Okay, let me just make sure I'm going to put that on pause now. I don't want to overload the bandwidth. We're in Canada. This is like, we're in Canada. The internet, I think there's one satellite out there. All right, so good morning, everybody. It is morning for another 7 minutes on the East Coast. What I was going to say is Merry Christmas, Happy Boxing Day, whatever the hell it is. Boxing Day is the biggest joke of a scam of a holiday ever. It just whips people up into a frenzy who they think they're getting good deals, and you're not getting good deals on anything that you can't otherwise get every day of the week with the advent of the internet. It gives people an excuse to go out there and spend money that they shouldn't spend on crap that they don't need because they think they're getting a good deal on it. And call me whatever, call me a cynic. Nobody gets a good deal on anything on Boxing Day because of Boxing Day. You can get all that same crap. You can get all that same crap for just as good a price later on. Viva phoning in from 1996. Well, you see, I could change my. I could go like this. Stop cam. I could do the pulsating avatar. There's my logo. All into transmission in the basement during Commie Canada's revolution is going to be a revolution. Forget it. We're going to go. See, look at that. The second I put the video back on, I see the little radar go back to one thing. Whatever. Miscusies, people. At least the audio is good, and I'll probably cram out a vlog later today. If anybody didn't see the vlog that I put out yesterday, after I didn't do a live stream yesterday because it was Christmas Day, and that's how you get divorced, is if you say, yeah, sorry, I can't come to the Christmas table. I'm doing a live stream. If you haven't seen yesterday's vlog, I think it was good. I think it asked some questions that I think I know the answers to. Link to yesterday's vlog. How has everyone's Christmas been? And Boxing Day. Oh my goodness. So we're going from the studio. We're going to be leaving here and I'm going to haul my gear with me and we're going to go, I don't know, travel around now, see some more family. Christmas is an amazing time of year. Thus far, it's been uneventful. Everyone's been happy. I had a discussion. What's Boxing Day? Come on. Boxing Day is it's like a national holiday. It's the day after Christmas when everything is allegedly on super discounted specials because everybody who got a crappy gift for Christmas goes and returns it, and then they got to sell those returned gifts, so they sell them at a super discounted rate. I See, your gift never arrived, David. I don't know if that's a small weenie joke. I think it might be. And yeah, so I didn't do a stream yesterday, but did a vlog yesterday. Just my thought process and just looking into the very simple question of how the hell the flu disappeared during COVID. And after all of the analysis, I've got more questions than answers. But that was a link right there. So check that out. Then people during the stream on Sunday, which was the Christmas Eve special, were like, Viva, have you read the amicus brief for I'll get the person who filed it. In the Trump context, in the Trump Colorado decision there. No, it's not the Trump Colorado. What the hell am I talking about? It's the DC Trump immunity claim. Filing an amicus to the Supreme Court stating that Jack Smith was never lawfully appointed, that we call him special, what do they call him? Special agent or I forget what the word is. Geez, what's the word for Jack Smith? It'll come to me in a second. It's like an attorney, special investigator, whatever. When he's just a citizen that was handpicked and appointed unlawfully by Merrick Garland, I'm like, okay, I want to see what this amicus has to say. We're going to stick to the intro portion of it because the body portion of the amicus just fleshes out with legal references and et cetera, the arguments that are detailed in the summary in the first 5 pages. We'll get there. We're going to do that on Rumble. So for those of you who don't know, first of all, Merry Christmas, Happy Boxing Day. It's not a holiday. We'll be seeing each other before New Year's, but Happy New Year's. Everyone get out there and freeze your nipples and your testes off by going into special counsel. Thank you. Jeez, I'm blaming all of this on the brown fats that are being released in my brain right now because of the cold. Viva Fry, former Montreal litigator turned Florida rumbler, were up in Canada for the holidays. Crossed the border, stepped into the asylum, and there's a different political atmosphere in Canada. It's indescribable, it's unmistakable, and it's undeniable. So we're here. And not to say that I can't wait to go back to Florida. The sun came out for about 5 minutes. So you wake up at 8 o'clock. It's blue, like blue darkness outside. Overcast, cold, depressing in terms of seasonal environment. Florida's just like, it's just sunny every day. The problem with a Florida sunny day every day is you feel like you have to go out and make the most of every day. And here you feel like you want to sleep through the next 6 months. Blue. Now there was some overcast. It's beautiful in its beauty, but in its comfort, Florida's a little bit more comfortable. But then you get to the summer where you have to leave the state to get out of the sun, the sweltering heat and blistering heat of the summer. So, Viva Fry. We start on YouTube, Rumble. Then we end on YouTube and we go exclusively to Rumble. Then when we're done on Rumble, we go to vivabarneslaw.locals.com, have our after party there of our wonderful community. Everybody should know, if you want to support vivabarneslaw.locals.com, it's $7 a month or a discounted $70 a year if you get the yearly package. It's going up to $10 a month as of January, or $100 a year at the discounted rate if you get the whole year. If you lock it in now and you want to support the work, that it's a coffee a month. It is actually a coffee, by the way. Starbucks is like $7 for one of those stupid dragon fruit refreshers. American, by the way. I'm talking American prices. So for the cup of coffee a month, if you want to support the work that I do with Robert Barnes, vivabarneslaw.locals.com. And if you want to get grandfathered in at the $7 instead of, I'll put it off for 2 weeks and sign up next month, get in there now, do it. If you're so inclined, I think Ben Dover, I think the Jesus had to do with the $7 a cup of coffee. When Gad Sad was down in Florida, he came down from Canada. We go get a cup of coffee. I've stopped doing the calculation now in terms of 30% more because it's American dollars versus Canadian. Now that we're here, I'm like, $20. That's like $14 US. It's shocking. The price of living, the cost of living is shockingly expensive everywhere for everyone. And so that's it. That was all. That was the pitch. If you can't support, there's a ton of stuff on our locals community that's for the non-supporting members. It's a beautiful community. Easiest way to support if you want to. Snip, clip, share, spread the word. Too much coffee, not a good idea for you, Viva. Dude, I got Red Bull. I've regressed to Red Bull because I'm finding that sucralose is upsetting my stomach and sugar bad. At least I know how it makes me feel. I need another cup of coffee. I'm still so cold. All right. Before we go over to Rumble, this was the alternative, the video that I was going to start with. We are governed by psychopaths. It's not a question. We are governed by psychopaths. And the only people who would want to govern have to be psychopathic in nature. Now, I know people are going to say, Viva, you ran for office. Are you a psychopath? I'll mute every time I sniff. I ran for office as a question of protest, knowing that I really wasn't going to get elected. I have no interest in governing. If I ever become prime minister or president, I can't become president. If I ever become in a position to govern, I would reduce the size of the state apparatus immediately overnight. Yeah. I would not govern to govern. I would govern to free the citizenry. That would be my objective for governing. That should be a good campaign logo. I'm not governing. I'm not running to govern. I'm running to liberate. So we're governed by psychopaths, and there's no bloody doubt about it. Gaslighting, narcissist psychopaths. Now let me just bring up one. Where is it? Peter Sellers. Oh God, I got some clips. I got some clips and some insights. But I wanted to start with Chrystia Freeland. Where the heck is the Chrystia Freeland? Oh, hold on one second. Wishing us a Merry Christmas. Do you remember when they told us that we had to celebrate Christmas differently alone? While they were literally taking flights to exotic islands and just abandoning everybody. Literally, we got to celebrate Christmas differently. One of these liberal Ontario politicians said in a pre-recorded video that he posted to Twitter that he published when he was in St. Bart's Island. Quebec politicians messed off and went to Caribbean for the holidays, while Canadians had to celebrate Christmas differently alone. But this year, they just rub it in. They just rub it in your face. Here, what does she say here? This is Chrystia Freeland. Merry Christmas, Joyeux Noël. The people who have spent the better part of 8 years destroying the country incrementally and systematically. Look at them. They're humans too. Look at this. They got a good life. It's beautiful. When they're not locking you down, they're cashing their government paychecks, riding their government horses, riding their high horses. I mean, they don't even see the symbology in all of this. But it doesn't stop at the provincial, national level. It doesn't even stop at the government level. Some people who have not ever been elected are trying to govern us like the subservient plebs that they think we are. When did the not NWO, what's his name here? When did that guy, where is he? This guy. When did the WHO get a mandate to govern me, my country, my citizens? When? The answer is a big fat never. These people are professional managers. They are people who think they get to manage other people. They're better and they get to make decisions for other people. They know what's best for other people, and they want to manage a problem, even if it means creating a problem to manage the problem. Look at this guy. I don't think everybody should tweet that. I think that picture of him at a gay bar was a doctored photo, so I don't think I've ever shared that, unless it's to question it. But this freak weirdo, who the hell gave this guy permission to do anything, say anything, have any reach over me and my country?
Our food systems are harming the health of people and planet. Food systems contribute to over 30% of greenhouse gas emissions and account for almost 1/3 of the global burden of disease.
Global burden of disease, for anybody who didn't understand what he said. I'm going to break this down section by section afterwards. I'm just going to play it out so you can all revel in the insanity. This man belongs in jail. I mean, I look, if they can find crimes on Trump, they can find crimes on this guy. I would like this guy to be nowhere near a position of power. The devil on my shoulder says I'd like him in jail. And the rational part of me is saying, if they can manufacture crimes on Trump after a life in the spotlight, in real estate, in entertainment industry, they can find something on this absolute psychopath. But let's just play this through here.
Transforming food systems is therefore essential by shifting towards healthier, diversified, and more plant-based diets. If food systems delivered healthy diets for all, we could save 8 million lives per year. WHO is committed to supporting countries to develop and implement policies to improve diets and fight climate change. I'm therefore very pleased that over 130 countries have signed the COP28 UAE Declaration on Climate and Health. Together, we can protect and promote the health of both people and planet. I thank you.
Both people and planet. Now, I'm going to try not to make fun of his accent because that's not the funny part of this. But if I just say his accent with my accent, it won't be, accurate. What the hell? Food systems? Understand what this guy just said at the end there. We can help the health of people and the planet. I need to break down the insanity of all of this.
Our food systems are harming the health of people and planet.
Our food systems are harming the health of people and planet. Our food systems, which feed people. I don't even know what he means by food systems. I'm going to Google this afterwards.
Food systems contribute to over 30% of greenhouse gas emissions and account for almost 1/3 of the global burden of disease.
Greenhouse gas emissions. I know we talk about this over and over again, and I just, again, ask the obvious question. What do plants eat? What do trees consume? What do algae and phytoplankton consume? Carbon emissions. They consume carbon and emit oxygen. Where has it been definitively demonstrated that carbon emissions are the be-all and end-all of whatever climate crisis people think exists? Considering that plants need to consume them and emit oxygen as a result, as a byproduct. When did we settle the science on carbon emissions being the be-all and end-all? Even if we did, food systems contribute to 30% of gas. Okay, I don't even know what that means. Do we all appreciate that China and India, China, I believe, emits more greenhouse gases than the next 3 or 4 countries combined? China and India are the biggest polluters, if we're going to use that word, of carbon emissions. They want to go after food systems before going after China and India. Why? I might suspect because this guy, I forget what his name is probably beholden to China. Just stating the obvious. Food systems are causing global health crisis. You know what we should do? Reduce the population.
Transforming food systems is therefore essential by shifting towards healthier, diversified, and more plant-based diets.
Plant-based diets. Okay, they want us to eat bugs, or, I guess not bugs because that's not plant-based, but maybe bugs are plant-based because they're, you get them from plants. Where has it been established that fields of wheat, grain, whatever, take up less land than beef or animals for the amount of people fed, for the amount of nutrients obtained through? Because I guess you could go with like acre per person fed. You'd have to go with like nutrient-rich food. In terms of nutrient per gram, that's what's important. Who has ever established that a field of corn or a field of wheat is more environmentally efficient than pastures for free-range cows? I don't know.
If food systems delivered healthy diets for all, we could save 8 million lives per year.
You could save 8 million lives per year. How many would you kill? Do we know how many people were estimated to have starved to death or entered starvation because of the response to COVID? So in order to save, I don't know, let's just be give the benefit of the doubt. In order to save tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of old geezers, we just condemned hundreds of millions into a state of absolute poverty, into a state of starvation. I'll get it. Bill Gates was saying because of the COVID interruption, or I should say the response to COVID, interruption to the supply chain, hundreds of millions of people risk starvation. Oh, but we did it to save tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe, let's just even say low millions. And now we've created a new problem that we've got to remedy. It's an amazing thing. Government is the only position where you fail upwards, where every time you screw up and cause a problem, you give yourself a raise to deal with the problem that you created in response to the other problem that you were unable to resolve.
WHO is committed to supporting countries to develop and implement policies to improve diets and fight climate change. I'm therefore very pleased that over 130 countries have signed the COP28 UAE Declaration on Climate and Health. Together, we can protect and promote the health of both people and planet. I thank you.
both people and planet. Let me just see here something. COVID response, starvation, millions. The 2020, let me just see this. Listen to, I mean, okay, fine. The WHO, this is the same jackass organization that is telling us now, we know how to solve problems of health and climate. Trust us. The 2023 edition of the report reveals that between 691 and 783 million people faced hunger in 2022, with a mid-range of 735 million. This represents an increase of 122 million people compared to 2019 before the COVID-19 pandemic. Wrong. Not before the COVID-19 pandemic, before the government's utterly incompetent, corrupt, dishonest response to the COVID pandemic. The COVID pandemic, I'm putting it in quotes now, people. I've come a long way on my black pill. The COVID pandemic, some might think, was actually just a rebranding of the flu season. And I cannot call them stupid, crazy, or even wrong for hypothesizing that. The COVID pandemic did nothing on its own. I mean, you're right. It did result in the death of a great many elderly people who were kept in long-term healthcare facilities. The average age of the average bona fide COVID victim was actually older than the average lifespan. Go figure. The COVID pandemic did very little to fuck up the world. It was the government's response to it. The COVID pandemic did not increase starvation by 125 million people. The government's response to it, just shutting down economies, shutting down countries, shutting down travel, rebranding and relabeling. Yep. But the WHO, which now says, look, our response to the COVID pandemic put another 130 million people in positions, in a position of starvation. But trust us, if we can rework food systems, I still don't know what the hell that word means, we can save 8 million people a year. It's accounting for criminals. Oh, we'll save 8 million people. It's like children. Well, I made $8 today. All right, but you sold a $2,000 necklace for $8 to make $8. Yeah, but I made $8. Well, I saved 8 million people this year. All right, you killed 130 million. Don't expect me to give you credit for that, you corrupt nincompoop. And I want to play this from Jessica Rose. I'm gonna do two more things before we head on over to Rumble, because Jessica Rose, a scientist with a functioning freaking brain. She's been on the channel at least 3 times. Coming over to Rumble, there's a link. I want to play this clip from Jessica Rose, and then we're gonna end on YouTube with a little bit of a laugh. As to, you think these people are crazy? You think you think some of these movies which have depicted cataclysmic end of world stuff like Dr. Strangelove, you thought they were exaggerating. You thought it was too cartoonish, too comedic to be true. That guy, whatever his name is, what's his name? What's the guy's name there? The stupid guy from the WHO. They're even more comical in reality than Dr. Strangelove was as parody. Where is Jessica Rose? I have it here. Here, listen to this. She's amazing. Here, listen to this. We're going to play this whole thing.
But like, you're a free entity. You're a sovereign soul being, whatever, when you come into this world, and nobody can restrict your movement. It's in the best interest of us as a species, as a social, bunch of social beings, to form small herds, like 100 communities of 150, I hear are ideal. And to group together, because we do have predators. We mostly have predators within our own species now, but that's the limiting factor. Like we should restrict our own movement out of self-preservation, but nobody has the right to tell you that you cannot go somewhere because of some shit. Oh. That's bullshit. That's an absolute lie.
Well, it's not a lie. It's an aberration of natural justice. It's an aberration of human freedom. What kind of human gets to think that they get to tell you to stay in your house from 10 to 5 in the absence of, I don't know, cataclysmic war? What kind of human? A freaking nutcase who thinks we need to tell you what to eat so that we think we can manage a crisis of our own making better. Psychopaths. There's no other way to put it. There's a reason why good people like Jessica Rose have no interest in governing others. There's a reason why, like, I consider myself a decent person, a good person. The guy want a government? Get in there and slash the government. Go. You're free, government workers. You're no longer dependent. You're no longer captive. Go. Oh, but we don't know how to make our own money. We don't know how to work in the private sector. We've been getting paid by government taxpayer dollars. That's our career. Welcome to freedom.
Farcical. And that's basically how our entire system is set up now. And that's the fear with this movement toward the social credit score system with the CBDCs and stuff. It's like they're going to make it so that you can't move. It's like this, the segue into not having flights anymore. It's just going to be like slowly moving the goalpost farther and farther so that you don't even really notice it's happening. And then all of a sudden you're a cow in a cage.
It's a digital Berlin Wall. I mean, that's what it is. A digital Berlin Wall. Oh, what's that? You donated to the wrong charity? Well, your life is over. Oh, what's that? You attended the wrong protest? Your life is over. You're not getting on a plane. We're not locking you in jail. We're just putting you on a no-fly list. We're not locking you in jail. We're just debanking you. We're just making it so that you can't exist in this world, but we're not doing anything to you. And then, by the way, if and when you lash out and go do something stupid, well, then we're going to come down on not only you, but everyone in your group. These savages can't deal with justice. They can't deal with the systems. Oh, taxation is not theft. It's armed robbery. So you got, what's the guy's name, by the way? What's the guy's name that the weirdo from The Who? Who are you? Who is he? Who? Let me see if I can. Well, while we do that, let me just go see Food Systems, WHO. Here, let's just see this. Food System Overview. Let's see if this is it. I can't read that. What the hell is that? That's the Washington system. Food System Overview, Agricultural Production. Oh, here, let's see. This is what the systems are. What's the guy's name? Not Klaus Schwab. Dr. Tedros. I think it's Dr. Tedros. Let's see what the food systems are. This is from Washington State University. I don't think this is necessarily what the WHO is talking about. You got your agricultural system, processing, distribution, marketing, human health and well-being, environment. No, that sounds like what we need to make sure you eat plants. Where did I go that I saw? It was at a Burger King at the airport where they had the Impossible Whopper. I'm not eating that. I like. Oh my God. Meat is amazing. It's the most nutrient-rich food out there. You want to eat. I don't want to be mean to vegans, but there's a reason why vegans have certain stereotypes in terms of looking the way they look, and why meat eaters go swimming in ice cold Canadian water. I'm joking, but no, the food systems, they're gonna interfere with the food system, and then when 300 million people starve, they're gonna say, how did it happen under Stalin? You know how it happened under Stalin, and I'm truly appreciating it now. How do you have the Holodomor, the Ukrainian famine? How do you have socialism, communism, Leninism, whatever you want to call it, resulting in the starvation of 50 million? How do you have it? You have the government take something over and utterly destroy it because they don't know what they're doing. Well, and what's the WHO trying? They're trying to take over the network of infrastructure that has been built over hundreds of years that led to the international global supply chain. Oh, well, they know they can shut it down. Why can't they control the whole thing? And then, geez, this is a lot harder. Who would have thunk that Dr. Tedros doesn't have the expertise of a farmer in Venise, Quebec? Venise, Quebec, baby. Who would have thunk? Oh, well, what's this? Well, we saved 8 million people, but we killed 100 million. So, but they didn't die from starvation. They died from crime because they're criminals. They died from other stuff another problem that we have to go regulate. And then soon enough, it's going to be them living in bunkers and saying, well, we saved 1 million politicians. Listen to this. It's so bloody good. I have to go watch this movie again, and maybe even with the kid. You thought Dr. Tedros sounded crazy? We must make you eat plants for the good of the environment. You may not understand it, stupid citizen, but we do. Well, we might have to go live in bunkers for the next million years, but don't worry. Government officials, you're going to get the sexy women down in the bunkers. If anybody has not seen Dr. Strangelove, stop watching now and go watch Dr. Strangelove. After this, we're going over to Rumble.
You mean people could actually stay down there for 100 years?
But this is after they initiate a nuclear holocaust. After the governments of the world, let Sweden, Finland join NATO, trigger a World War III cataclysmic nuclear devastation. Well, Zuckerberg's got his Hawaiian Island allegedly bunker. He can take 12 women down there. He's going to have to take young women because they're going to have to reach peak fertility at different stages of the reproduction of the world. So he's going to have to get 12-year-old, 15-year-old, 18-year-old. I mean, they got to start legal, and then he's got a plan for the future, right? You got to get fertile young people so that when the time comes, Zuckerberg can repopulate the earth and the government officials in their bunkers can repopulate this. Sorry, I'll stop interrupting.
Would not be difficult, my Führer. Nuclear reactors could... I'm sorry, Mr. President. Nuclear reactors could provide power almost indefinitely.
Let me pause this here. The joke here is not a joke. I never understood it. The joke here is that this guy is a Nazi doctor working with the American government to plan ahead for the nuclear holocaust that they're about to create. Oh, I'm sorry. When I first saw this movie, I didn't realize it was based on reality. Operation Paperclip, Nazi scientists, Nazi doctors, Nazi military officials fleeing, or not even fleeing, being acquired by Western interests for their knowledge. I didn't realize that this was actual reality. So the whole joke here is this guy's got his doppelganger. He keeps doing Sieg Heil or Heil Hitler. And it's true. It's more based in reality than I ever understood. And by the way, it's less absurd than the reality in which we currently live.
Greenhouses could maintain plant life. Animals could be bred and slaughtered. Quick survey would have to be made of all the available mine sites in the country. But I would guess that dwelling space for several 100,000 of our people could easily be provided.
Well, I would hate to have to decide who stays up and who goes down.
Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. We have AI for that. We can. I mean, it's not a joke. This is like AI before AI. Oh, don't worry. We'll do it neutrally. We'll get people based on sexual productivity, age, intelligence. That's it. AI will determine who lives and who dies, who gets good food and who gets wheat.
Necessary, Mr. President. Could easily be accomplished with a computer. And the computer could be set and programmed to accept factors from youth, health, sexual fertility, intelligence, and a cross-section of necessary skills.
And by the way, I mean, it's so damn good. Oh, sexual fertility. You mean we, the survivors who messed up and caused this problem, we get hot chicks? Fringe benefits, baby.
Of course, it would be absolutely vital that our top government and military men be included to foster and impart the required principles of leadership and tradition. Actually, they would breed prodigiously, eh? There would be much time and little to do.
Okay, I'm not going to play too much of this. It's one of the best scenes of all time. It's one of the best movies of all time, and I've got to rewatch it now. Here's the link to that scene if anybody hasn't seen it. Before we go, by the way, I realize I haven't gotten to the chat in YouTube. I'm going to get to the chat in Rumble as well, and then we're going to head over. Let me see here. Oh, I didn't push this button. Okay, let's just see here. Cripe. I think I missed something on the Rumble side. Okay, be that as it may, let me just get to the chat here, because Von Braun is famously shown with his arm in a sling while serving with NASA, so Sellers is also shown with a bad wing. It's amazing. It's amazing, like you can't even appreciate how good it is. It sounds like, okay, so now hold on one second. I almost forgot to read the super chats here. Pasha Moyer in the house with $5.14, which I think is a shout out to 514 area code, being Montreal. What's the word for Jack Smith? But Viva, I thought this was a family show. Wait until we get to the Jack Smith stuff on the other side of things. Careful of all that carbon, if not trees need it. Careful. I'm not your buddy guy. Careful for all that carbon. It's not trees need it. Oh, I think that's a. Let me see here. There was more carbon over 80,000 years ago. Yeah, well, I mean, I guess the argument might be that 80,000 years ago, there was a mass extinction with 75 million. I don't know what there was 80,000 years ago. If it was, we were not yet in an ice age, but no, the argument, it's so stupid. You would have Mr. Dr. Tedros talking about how you have to save the dinosaurs. in the event of a mass extinction. I'm not your buddy guy says, you see the article on breathing and climate change? Oh, yeah, no, there's this. Well, they're going after cow burps. So the only next thing is to go after human burps. You know, like if you eat a diet that produces gas, they'll tax you. So what they'll do is they say, no beef for you. You'll get vegetables. Yeah, sure, vegetables make everybody gaseous. So we're going to tax you on your burps and your farts after we force you to eat plants, which make you burp and fart more. It's like, it would be absurd if it weren't so bloody absurd. Vladstein says, so is Trudeau still licking the ballsack of China? I believe the answer to that question would be yes. Who was out there licking the boots of Justin Trudeau? The people on Twitter still defending Justin Trudeau blows my freaking mind. Okay, with that said, no, okay, that's my sister-in-law. Let me get a copy of this. One last time, people, we're going to go over to Rumble is the link right there. We're going to go over to, if you want to come over to vivabarneslaw.locals.com, locals, come, join, be a member, non-supporting, be a supporting member if you so choose. Otherwise, and regardless, if you're on YouTube and you're not coming over, shame on you. How dare you? Look at this thing right here. This is beautiful. Oh, and this other thing. Just stuff everywhere. My mother-in-law's studio. Here, look at this. Art, rose mailing everywhere. Just boom, flowers. There's another one. Here. Yeah, I'll take this one. No, that's stuck to the table. I'm going to leave that here. Just everything, man. Everything. She could do a garage sale and raise $1 million selling rose mailing her artwork. Okay. Did I get everything on the chat on the Rumble side? Let me go to locals, Rumble. Okay, I think I got everything. All right, let's come on over to YouTube or Rumble. And I'm going to do probably a standalone vlog breakdown of it for ease of sharing of the highlights. Am I still in Quebec? Hold on one second. Mankind loses wisdom as they walk away from God. I can understand that. Am I still in Quebec? I've returned to Quebec for the holidays. Come back, everybody gets colds because whatever, travel stress and all that other crap, and trying to jack up them with a little swim. What's up with the 140 pp? I blame Justin Trudeau. I'm joking. It's Canadian internet. We're up in the country, and that's what it is. So, all right, come on over to Rumble and or locals. We're going to end on YouTube in 5,